By the way, we'll open it up to like questions from the audience and just general FAQ at the end. I only have a few questions for people, so it won't take that long. All right, Crystal's response in full is in the chat. Nice. Let's leave the question to Ham. Same one. What is your view for the future of COG, and what steps will you take to get there?
My view for the future of COG is mainly a bit more internal stability, because if any of you guys have played any like Hearts of Iron 4 games, you know that China splits apart if you invade it. That's what COG is like at the moment, where we can all just split apart, something bad happens. Now, I want to stop that, and I stop that by more state unity. So basically what FancyMeow wants to do, more events for the whole of COG, more state support. Like Garxito just recently, this is Tomox now, but it's now Garxito. So Garxito is growing massively. Or there's a lot of states that are underdeveloped and don't have many people nor much infrastructure. And I want to change that so every state is basically equal. And we can change that by in the nation advert. And I was talking with Robin Buoyo the other day, where we can just change it so there's daily like state cities or whatever that people who join COG are able to look at and then decide if they want to live there. And if not, they can always come to Garxito because it's a great city. But it would be nice for other states like Halcyon or Western Commonwealth, well, that one's pretty big. Gil, or yeah, basically all the other states who have less people to grow up to the level of Garxito. And mainly make friends and all that with our neighbours, because we don't want enemies on our doorstep. That's very bad for COG. So not increasing our military stuff, but yeah. And then maybe for government workers, have a small set wage. Like if I want Unk to build me a house, I pay him in advance. So it's not just free labour or whatever, because no one likes free labour. Well, I do, but still. And then I can achieve this by basically just opening donations to COG for everyone and having a set trade economy for everyone. So if people from other nations can come to COG, trade their goods, we get money, they get money, we get goods, they get goods, everyone's happy, basically. That's all.
Thank you. All right, now let's go to some specific questions I have prepared for the candidates. By the way, if you have a question you want to ask the candidates, DM me or message me in game, and I can ask it, or you can ask it yourself. Just let me know first. So my first question is to FancyMeow, or I guess Crystal. So you're part of Atlantis, which is a half protectorate of COG. It isn't a full state, and it's pretty far away. That said, you are obviously COG citizens, but what is your plan to, I guess, represent the whole of COG? Because you live in a place that is kind of detached from the mainland. So how can you appeal to the rest of the people here? Responses are no mic, by the way. Okay. We can give you a second. Do you want me to like talk to another candidate while you write your response? Because that's totally fine. Okay, cool. So yeah, next question then. That's going to GeneralDragon. So as I understand it, you're very involved with the brewing business. You have set up a very nice brewery so far in Garxito, and in Gil, you've done a lot to establish an economy there.
Sorry, one second.
Okay. Take your time. Just let me know when you're ready.
He's chewing more gum.
Yeah, he's got the gum.
Big league chew.
Don't worry.
How
we'll
it feels to chew number 5 gum. 5 gum. Stimulate your senses.
He has his priorities, at least.
But imagine like one of them.
Ooh. That's a fair point. Welcome. Ghost. Okay. While GeneralDragon's finishing his gum, I suppose we can ask Legham. So Legham, my question to you, and I'm sure you've seen this coming, but why did you leave COG a few days ago? General, all right. I moved to Ham.
I left COG a few days ago because some people were being quite mean to me, and I'm not emotionally strong, and it's been happening over a couple of months now, and it was quite mean to me, and I just couldn't take it, so I left. I dipped so I could have a small break and recuperate my thoughts.
So follow up. What's changed since then? Do you have an idea on how to deal with it? And
Oh.
are you feeling better?
Yeah, I've just blocked Flak. That's simple. I can't respond to him anymore. Can't see his
Oh.
messages. Stuff's better.
Based. That's one way to deal with it. Okay. Cool. So back to GeneralDragon. My question to you was, because you're pretty involved in brewing and economics and that kind of development, what are your plans for the nation? Do you want to extend your brewing and your economics plan to the country? What does that look like?
Yeah, this is actually one thing I have thought about in the 15 seconds that I decided I was running for president. I do plan on actually supporting small businesses inside of COG. That includes me as a brewer and other small businesses such as cheese making, jam, other things that I can't name right now because I'm being stupid and can't remember things. And that plan is going to be increasing plot size for businesses so they can have more room to show their wares in the capital and in other places like around the country, and maybe even installing shops along the roads in COG so that people can get their businesses out there effectively, quickly, and most importantly, with quality. Thank you.
Nice. Thank you. All right, let's go back to Crystal / FancyMeow. If you guys have a response, feel free to type it while we speak, just so we can save time. There you can check in no mic to see Crystal's response. And just as a reminder, the question was, because they're part of Atlantis, which is pretty far away from the COG mainland, what do they plan to do to kind of unite the country and represent the main area of the country as well? Oh, Walnut's here. Welcome. Pickle on a stick. If you want to get here, just take the nether portal, head straight west from wherever you are.
Sorry, I am in Garxijos. Garxijos?
I'm gonna go find you. Garcetto. I'm gonna go find you. Don't worry about it.
Garcetto, okay. I'm there. I'm by the nether portal area.
You can check no mic. I think Claymore put the chords like specifically for it. Yeah. Oh, Crystal, is that your final response?
Okay.
Okay, cool. So next question. This is an audience question directed towards Leg. It reads, how do you plan on dealing with the stress and potential that will come with the job from Flak? How do we know you won't crumple under pressure?
Was that one? Can you read it again, please?
Sure. How do you plan on dealing with the stress and potential flack? Haha, funny pun. You will catch that comes with the job. How can we know you won't crumple under pressure?
Well, as the president, I am. Well, the government is run by the High Council plus the president, whoever gets elected. So the job won't just be my load; it'll be shared between the whole council. If you get what I'm trying to say there.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
I'll choose if I become president, I'll choose a couple good, supportive council members who know how to do their job well, who know what they're doing, and if stuff in COG goes bad, because I am from Australia, so time zones might not like meet up with everyone, basically. So that's why I want a good vice president who, if I'm asleep or unable to do stuff, he'll be able to do the same stuff that I can, or she'll be able to do the same stuff that I can. And COG it's not just one person, that leads COG. Obviously, the president is more of a figurehead that people can look up to, but the High Council really does put in a lot of their work to make COG run smoothly and well.
Thank you for your response. All right, we have another audience question that goes to all candidates. So if you're a candidate, feel free to respond or not respond. Here's what the question is. It goes, do you have any plans for expansion for the Ruby Syndicate or COG in general? And I assume they mean land or territory expansion. Anyone can answer.
I actually do have an idea for that, and it's mainly recruiting our neighbors, basically. Neighbors, and you can get at me for this, but smaller nations that may not be able to defend themselves as well, may not have such a large say on the global scale. Because COG and Rodenbrook and Rhineland and COAC are some of the best nations in the Northwest. People know their name, people know how they act, people know what they do, stuff like that. But there might be some smaller nations around Oldham that don't get as much recognition because they're small. People don't know what their name is and all that. And Ruby Syndicate should really be like a council of representatives from all the nations in it. So all the nations have a fair say in what it does. And just because one nation is bigger than the other doesn't mean they're better.
Any other responses to that question? Yeah, we can take a pause on more questions and wait for Fancy to answer. That's totally fair. GeneralDragon, if you have a response, feel free, but don't feel like you're pressured to. Oh, man is muted.
Oh, sorry. I asked, what was the question again?
The question was basically, what are your plans on COG Ruby Syndicate expanding, like land-wise or territory-wise?
Oh, I was thinking we could negotiate with the countries around us. Obviously not Iraq. I don't want to touch them in any way that might make them mad. That's like a bad idea. But other countries near us, maybe stop the certain people toward north that have been doing certain things to us recently. Just maybe stop them from doing that. And that's really, I don't really have any other things to do on that front.
Could you elaborate on the situation in the north for people who don't really know?
Oh, the Tolians, I think that's how you say their name, were recently expanding into COG territory and have trampled a couple of farms in the Western Commonwealth.
Who has?
The Catoli people, I'm pretty sure. That's what I've been told. They've been playing some farm plots in the Western Commonwealth.
Yeah, Catullus has always been Catullus. I think we can share the same stance on that. GeneralDragon, that it's
Yeah.
Catullus.
Catolus, you know,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're
Thanks for your responses. I want everyone to look at no mic to see Crystal's response. What's with all the gun reacts? Gee. Okay. I'm gonna open it up to the audience, so feel free to use voice chat and ask your questions, or use local. Only appropriate responses. I mean questions, please.
Hello.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hi. What is the what are the candidates' opinions on the religious expansion of Rathism?
Well, my opinion on that is that it's people can follow Ratism because it's a religion and we do have religious freedom, but I don't really like it if it gets to the extremist point where they start attacking people, building up their cities, and purely just spreading Ratism for the pure through fear, basically, and that's not the way that we want to live. We don't want to live in fear of a religion because that's not good for anyone. So if there's like ratists here who aren't extremists and just follow the Rat King because they think he's cool or they believe in him or whatever, that's fine. Don't really have a say in what they follow or what they do.
I have the
That's
I have the exact same view on this as Legham. As long as they're not extremists, they're not really a threat in any way to the political balance of COG, as say Legham said there. As long as they're not hurting anybody, we're all fine.
Thank you for your response. Fancy has responded to the question in no mic. Yeah, it seems like we all have a pretty similar ideas on this. Clay, I think you had a question. You can feel free to ask it if you'd like.
I'm currently trying to revise it to word it better. So please, others, go ahead.
Okay. Any questions from the audience? Go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to ask one. I always every candidate's views on Uraka. This is more for GeneralDragon and Crystals. I mean, Fancy, because I know Legham's views on this, but
I'll still answer so the public can know.
all right.
Well, okay, wait. So my views on Uraka is they are a big nation. Basically, they are a strong nation. The whole Triple Entente is strong, but it doesn't mean that I hate them and want to go to war with them and destroy them and all that. Because, well, if we do that, COG and the Ruby Syndicate would get absolutely smashed in our current state. I'll put it simply: we are not strong enough to defend an attack from Uraka. That's it, simply. From the Triple Entente, Aristios, AWE, Zamots, if they decided to invade COG, we are gone. We can't really help that. We are not great PvPers, and our main strong point is democracy and diplomatic discussions, which I think we are very good at. But on the other hand, Uruk can be seen as aggressive expansionists and a bit metagaming from some people's point of views because of what they did to Barbosa and just annex the whole thing. They annexed Aurum Solus, basically, which might not be the right idea in some people's minds. So yeah, there's that.
Gotcha. Looks like we have a question in the chat. Would the COG government support a holy war against ratism? Any ideas?
Holy war against what?
Ratism.
Rats.
There already was a holy war against ratism, and it failed miserably.
Yeah. Also, we have absolutely no reason to have a holy war. We don't have a state religion. We don't really have a state. What do you call a stake in it? That's what it's called. We don't have a stake in it hard enough to have a holy war affect COG in an extremely major way. If we just went for a holy war, they would just lost it would end up in an extreme loss of life that could have been avoided just by talking to them.
Thank you for your responses. Okay, so Clay, no pressure, but if you'd like to ask your question, now is the time to do it.
Yeah, I just got finished revising. Leg, I know you earlier stated that you want to focus on internal matters and trade with foreign countries. Do you have any plans on like any future trade agreements with, say, our neighbors? And if so, what do you think we should focus on trying to export?
Well, the exporting bit is basically people's choice, like individual traders. Like if anything, we should start up our own trading league, like the Mercurian Trading League, purely so that we've got a set base where people can go in there, they can trade their goods, they can get some money, and they can go out and then they can retrade those goods. Like the Silk Road. If anything, we should make COG like up in the north. Wait, I've got to remember my directions. Up in the northeast, like the Silk Road, where we can run through nations. People can follow a single road. They can trade their goods along the way. They can trade money. They can get more stuff. They can live just by trading. That would be a great idea for people. And I'm saying that because they did take out Auction House, and that was the main trade thing, basically. So a new Silk Road up in the northeast, because we are all pretty much connected land-wise. I think that would work a lot.
I see.
I want to show you guys No Mike, Crystal / FancyMeow responded to the previous question regarding religious war. So if you want to look at that, you can. All right. If there aren't any more questions, I'm going to give it about 20 seconds.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
So how would some states or like what would be some states with like major changes for those who are elected? Like this is for all candidates.
Can you explain the question a bit better, please? Because all the
Like
states are autonomous, basically.
will there be any states like that undergo major changes because of someone's elections, or will life still run like basically the same it's been?
Life will, in what I want to do, life will still run the same, basically. But everyone will slowly see a development and then betterment of life, you know. It won't be like the Industrial Revolution where it will happen suddenly, but it will be more of like people slowly see their town improve, slowly see more people come. And when that more people come, it'll skyrocket like Garxito has. Because Garxito's got lots of people, and that number's just grown because there's lots of people. Or some of the smaller ones don't have many people. So if we fill those small towns up, they'll build themselves up, basically.
That could lead to a stronger economy as well, I'd imagine. You know, each town
Exactly.
would probably have more farms and players active to go do things.
Exactly.
I would like to note that in my plan is very similar in nature to Legham's plan on trade. Most of the things. Just by putting businesses on the roads and all that stuff will make people want to travel more inside of COG in general. And that means that there will be more foot traffic in the state. And usually that would mean that certain states with higher production capabilities and higher ability to advertise and sell items will most likely become a bit richer. Not gonna lie on that part, which means that places with higher population and better road connectivity will more end up having more people want to go travel through them and buy items.
All right, we got another question in chat. What is COG's foreign policy towards Cethris? If you don't mind, I'm gonna actually answer that because I don't think anybody knows anything about Cethris. In short, we don't have a foreign policy towards Cethris. Oh, server's down. Okay, we can continue just the closing remarks on Discord. Unless anyone else has any other questions, I'll give it another 15 seconds before we go to closing remarks.
Am I allowed? Are the candidates allowed to ask other candidates questions?
Yeah, we're gonna do that in the closing.
Okay.
Looks like we have one more question, I think, in No Mic.
I actually have another question, if you don't mind. I mean,
Go ahead.
y'all were talking about like the development of states and communities. Will the future president have a personal hand in that development, or is it just going to be like more of a plan to develop?
I'd personally have a hand in that because I run a state that is quite underdeveloped at the moment, and I would like it to be more developed. But then I also know there are other states around me that are still underdeveloped, so I would like those states to be improved as well as my own. So overall, COG can grow as a nation, and not just one state like Garxijos growing.
Okay. Any other candidates have an answer to that? Yeah, let's wait for Crystal.
Can I answer while we're waiting for Crystal?
Definitely.
I believe that we should probably set up a fund in the government for building developments in underdeveloped states instead of developing developed ones. And that pool, let's say will be used to pay for builders, materials and all that to make the states overall better. Good development plan.
Thank you. All right, I'll restate the question. Actually, wait, who was the one who asked the question? You should probably do that. I don't want to talk too much. Was it you guys?
What question? Sorry. About the development or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I asked it.
Do you mind restating it for Crystal?
Oh yeah. Sorry, my bad.
No problem.
So basically, we were talking about earlier, the candidates want to develop more states. So would the candidates have a personal hand in that development, or would it just be more of a plan to develop the states?
While we're waiting, I just want to thank all 17 of you guys who are here who showed up to listen to this. It's a pretty crazy number. You too, Robster.
Hopefully 17 people that vote.
Ooh. I don't love Buoyo.
Rip.
If you can't vote if you're not a citizen, so sorry. I mean, imagine if it wasn't. Like, imagine everyone in the world could vote in these elections.
That would be so corrupt.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
That'd be very.
any powerful nation could just be like, well, let's put this guy in charge.
Exactly. Oh, we have a response from Fancy in Nomic. All right. Thank you for your response. I'm going to move things along and let's get to closing remarks. So in this time, you have a chance to, I wouldn't say trash talk your opponent, but, definitely like make your case as to why you'd be better than the other people running. Anyone can start.
Okay, I think I'd be better than the other candidates running because I have had experience in the government at the moment. And out of the people running for president, other than Flak, as he is unavailable, I am the one with the most government experience out of the 3 candidates here. Now, I don't know how Loblantis works, and Lobbers is kind of cool. You know, I like lobsters. I like you, lobster. I like your lob arc. And I think all the candidates here are quite good in themselves, but I think they'd be better on the high council doing their own individual thing. Any questions from the candidates to me?
I just wanted to add one. I don't believe you ever told us this, but your economic plan. Just wondering, how non-existent is that?
Ooh.
Oh, well, if you do remember, COG doesn't have taxes, and will most likely be pulling a Buoyo and donating most of this stuff to the bank out of my own pocket, and still asking for donations from the general public. Because I think that's how we I think that's how COG runs. There's mainly a donation
How would I
state.
go to vote?
It's mainly a donation
Which
state.
app?
Like Buoyo himself has run poor because of how much he's helped COG.
I have no more money left.
Yeah, I'm planning on selling my enchanted golden apple. If you guys saw that on my head during the election, I'm selling it for above 49k because that's what Greenskin Guga has offered. So if you guys have that offer, hit me up in DMs for that. Thank you.
Thanks for your response. Check no mic for Fancy's response. Okay.
FancyMeow, what is your plans and motivation strategies to keep the projects going? Because last time I checked, keeping the nation stable was the interior minister jobs like walnuts. I have a question for you, GeneralDragon. How tall are you?
I believe I'm 6'1", I think.
You give off major beta energy, GeneralDragon. Why is that? Why are you a beta male?
Whoa. Okay. All right. We've taken it a little too far. Let's pause on this. Only relevant questions, please. Jesus, Lightcamp.
What?
Ruthless in the sheets, if you know what I mean.
We've only had tall presidents, might I add. Actually, I don't know how tall Unk was, but I'm a
Unk is
6'3"
6'2".
lad. Unk 6'2"?
Unk is
Oh,
6'2".
amazing. I'm 6'3". Unk was the president. He's 6'2". Lightcamp, how tall are you?
I'm 6'1", 6'2".
Actually, I don't know why this is relevant.
No, this is relevant because it shows like to the outsiders that COG is very alpha and sigma males and females, and that we just don't care, and we just stay on the grind 24/7.
I think we've definitely deviated.
Would like to say I don't want COG to be known for having sigma males as part of us. So
I am personally a sigma male. Thank you
I'm a
very much.
sigma male.
Yeah, I suck on these nuts. Anyways, Robster has it right. Robster has it right.
Do you have closing remarks, GeneralDragon?
I don't really know what closing remarks are, really.
I've got closing remarks. My closing remarks are basically, you should vote for me because of my government experience, my ability to negotiate with other nations. Like Buoyo can even back me up there. Within 5 minutes, I got him and a new state into COG. More people.
I am neutral.
Neutral on that, but he can even say that. Fuck, I forgot one question. Bloody hell. Wait. How do you fund
Oh,
/ do projects? Yeah, thank you, Unk. Unk is very cool.
You were saying
And
something, GeneralDragon?
no, I was just gonna make sure that Wagham knew his question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very forgetful, this man.
Yeah, I've got multiple disorders. One of them called BBC. But anyways, we don't talk about that.
Hey yo. Crystal
Wait.
has Fancy's response in no mic.
I plan to take donations while also working my royal ass off to get the money to fund everything possible. Donations will be only a last-ditch effort if we absolutely need it. Fair enough. But what are your plans? Yeah, what are the plans that you have?
Oh, might I add, we're moving to like the FAQ and no moderation section, so anyone can talk and ask your questions. And the formal debate is basically over.
Oh yeah, I shouldn't have said formals. My man.
The moderated debate, shall I say?
Ugh.
Yucky.
Thank you everyone for coming, by the way. Feel free to stay.
What
if
is
you're
it
interested in-
for the Aussie? What is the appropriate response to a dingo eating all the babies in COG? Well, my response to that is do fucking nothing, because that's what the Australian government did. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions? Go full Aussie here. Tame it. Nah, can't tame fucking dingoes. These shit are fucking wild, man. You know, my sister, she's got 2 of them, and they're bloody wild. Slipped up there. Almost said a swear word.
Your sister owns dingoes.
Yeah, she owns 2.